morning, guys. Welcome back to the Financial Minutes. My name's Josh. As always, thank you for joining me. Get a little upbeat music here to get me going on my way to work. Thought I'd take you guys along with me. Let's discuss finances. Here we go. See what they have to say.
Because their previous view was a range of 72 to 76%. So they're seeing a lot better. But also remember, these stocks are very sensitive to what's going on in the oil market. If you start to see oil tumble, that means less jet fuel costs. Remember, a lot of these airlines have not hedged for those higher oil prices because no one really saw it coming. So that's, of course, good news for some of these airlines. Let's talk about a single name here. Paul, you might like this one. AMC Entertainment. What did they do today? They bought a mining company. They bought a stake in a mining company. 22% stake in Highcroft Mining, gold and silver mining company in Nevada.
Well, guys, when you invest in AMC, that's what they're doing with your money. They're buying mining companies. AMC, apparently, their business isn't doing so hot, so let's buy some gold.
They are raising their prices on all their vehicles. Elon Musk saying the costs are increasing as the companies naturally like commodity run through. While they're passing it on to consumer, Tesla are down. They're now up 0.7%.
Here's a random tweet. A guy named Joe Weisenthal. Moments ago, of course.
What do you all think? Tesla buy, sell? It's down like almost 50% from its highs.
Outside of the court.
Elon Musk comes to everybody and says, "Hey guys, we're at record highs here, and I know y'all think I never take profits and don't pay my fair share of taxes. Well, I'll sell now and pay some taxes." Coincidentally, it was also at record highs, and he made more money off of his sale than. Nothing wrong with that. Good for him. And then the stock tumbled, coincidentally.
It offers big opportunities for investors and businesses. Discover strategies to prepare now at cohnresnick.com/infrastructure. For their support. I don't want to get our wall of TVs here. It is international. There are 3 European Union leaders from Poland, from Czech. I keep saying Czechoslovakia, which is my
Czechoslovakia.
From Prague.
Don't think I
from
butchered
Czech,
it.
and from Slovenia, not Slovakia, Slovenia. Over.
Question though is when and where does he go beyond Brussels? Does he show up?
Joe's going to Europe.
What a moment that would be, particularly if it was paired with the arrival of more hardware or even troops for Eastern Europe.
As Secretary Blinken in Estonia the other day, I did the math, Joe. It's not in my head right now. I'm going to say 18 miles from the Russian border in Tallinn across from Helsinki as well. I mean, it's show the flag time, isn't it?
That's right. Projection of power, confidence for our allies. But I've got to tell you, it's a different story. When you're driving into Kyiv right now, I think you used the word refreshing earlier. Maybe Jonathan did on surveillance. This is downright reckless. I mean, first of all, you don't normally announce such a thing until you've arrived. We're watching this happen in real time here. And by the way, they also have to get out of the country right now. Ian Bremmer was suggesting a little while ago on Twitter, maybe they stay. Maybe that's actually what this is about. The U.S. ambassador goes back to Kyiv. Maybe this is the road to a ceasefire. There is no way that Vladimir Putin would launch missiles against the leaders of 3 NATO states.
Joe, what do we expect, if anything, from Congress as it relates to waving the flag, or maybe even something more concrete? Are we expecting anything soon?
From ask me that again.
Just for Congress, in terms of this war here, what can Congress do? Is it just maybe make a statement?
There's a lot of talk about follow-on sanctions and secondary sanctions. A Republican source on the Hill told me that they're first of all going to come back to codify what the president asked for last week. We kind of have to go back to remember that was a pretty bold move for the president here, and he will need Congress to remove Russia's most favored trade nation status. That'll be the first. That'll also mean 40% tariffs on everything other than the oil and gas coal that's already been banned. Then they come back around to things like the fighter jets. Will they actually go so far as to put that into legislation that says you give them those MiG-29s, the administration figures out how to do it, and it does appear that there's a groundswell here. Just wait till President Zelensky speaks to Congress tomorrow. Lawmakers came out of the private briefing with him the weekend before last, moved, and they wanted more, and Democrats came on board with the MiG issue. This is going to be a big talk in Washington tomorrow.
I look, Joe, at the moment-by-moment tick, and then, of course, the swings we see in our world and Brent crude, folks, 130 breaching 100. Brent crude is now 100.43 per barrel. Are the swings as great in the sound on sound world?
Sound on is, well, in terms of opinions, I'd say no. This has actually been kind of one of the least controversial moments, if that's where you're going here, in terms of Washington's reaction to all of this. Everybody was fighting and hating on each other during Build Back Better. Republicans have been searching for a way to criticize this president, and largely it's been, you started too late, and you painted yourself in a corner with energy prices. That's what we tend to be hearing. But this town is more united in the way forward on Ukraine than anything we've seen in a long time.
Joe Matthews, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate an update there.
War
It's
brings
on,
people together,
5
they
p.m.
say.
tonight. Yeah, it's on at 5, right, Paul?
Yeah, 5 Wall Street time.
It's not in the middle of my surveillance.
What y'all think about that?
Exactly.
Joe
Let me
Matthews, thank
know
you so
down in the
much.
comments
Greatly
below.
Appreciate it. An eventful day with futures up 25. With our news in New York City, here's Michael Barr.
Tom, Paul, thank you very much. The White House is discussing President Joe Biden making a visit to unspecified destinations in Europe while Russia's war on Ukraine is ongoing. Sources say a presidential visit would reinforce the message that the U.S. backs its NATO allies. The timing of the possible trip was not immediately clear. President Biden's national security advisor, Jake Sullivan, warned a top Chinese official in Rome about China supporting Russia in the Ukrainian invasion. And State Department spokesman Ed Price said any support China would give to Russia would be costly.
Any country that would seek to attempt to bail Russia out of this economic, financial morass will be met with consequences.
Boy, they don't
Price
like
also
Russia right
urged
now.
Americans in Russia to leave the country. This happened live on Russian state TV. Viewers of Russia's flagship evening newscast saw a protester burst onto the screen with a sign reading, "They are lying to you here." The woman has been identified as an employee with state-run news program. She was reportedly arrested and detained by police in Moscow. 1 year after signing the American Rescue Plan into law, President Biden is touting U.S. economic growth. Speech at the National League of Cities Conference in D.C., the president linked rising fuel costs to the invasion of Ukraine.
Make no mistake, the current spike in gas prices is largely the fault of Vladimir Putin.
No, I disagree.
It has
It's
nothing
largely
to
the
do
fault
with
of
the
you,
American
sir.
Rescue Plan.
President
blame
Biden also
Putin,
says,
but I
according
think
to experts, the
you
American
are
Rescue
the
Plan
fault.
contributed to only 0.3% to inflation. Live from the Bloomberg Interactive Broker Studios,
Make
this
no
is
mistake.
Bloomberg News, 24 hours a day on air and on Bloomberg.
President
Today.
Biden is
Powered by
happy
more
about
than
this war in
2,700
Russia
journalists and analysts from more than
because it's
120
taking the
countries.
pressure
I'm
off
Michael
of
Barr.
him.
This is Bloomberg. Tom Paul.
Everybody
We
can
have
kind of
to
agree
talk
on
politics
something
here. I mean,
now.
folks, we're trying to get away from all this serious news. And you know, I look at Sports Illustrated. Colorado State, they think could just mess up more brackets
Yeah.
than anyone known to mankind.
They're not going to get to the Final Four, but boy, they can do a lot of damage from.
Colorado State.
Yeah.
Good morning,
They're
Fort
good.
Collins.
They got to give it to them.
Loyola, Chicago.
Yep. Yep, there's a lot that could mess everything up
Ramblers.
getting to the Sweet 16. Yeah.
San
Colorado
Diego
State.
Have either
Basketball
of you
team?
guys ever done well at
I really
this?
need to get into sports. I
Not
don't
really.
know
I
my
have
stuff.
Duke pending, obviously, as the winner now. I just have to fill out the rest of the bracket, Michael. That's how I do it. I go Duke and winning it all, then I just build out
Yeah,
from there.
see, I do it the exact same way.
Yeah,
I
that's
do
about
it.
basketball.
And usually, at one time I came very close to winning this. But, of course, they lost. And then I lost. And then, I'm crying. And it's like, but it's fun. This is a fun time.
It is fun. I'll give you that. What I do is I always throw out the Ivy League one to win first. But this year I can't because I always have to take.
Well, guys, I know I've talked about this in the past, but I am going to do an update here on my $1 million growth. I'll be honest, I invested some money, quite a bit, to get this started. Not really much, actually, hundreds of dollars. I gave it up to like $675 for a while. But this whole downturn in the economy took a number on my portfolio. So I'm down back into the 500s. I have since, and I had since added some too. I think I actually, in theory, would have over 700. I sold some more stuff on eBay. I sold some stuff I bought. Let's see, what else have I done? I'll be honest, I've been more focused on my $100,000 loan. I haven't, or should I say $100,000 investment. I invested $100,000, actually $125,000 into building my data house. But it wasn't including that in the $1 million challenge because it was supposed to be money that I had already, or not money that I had already made. And that's money that I already had before I announced this $1 million 2-year challenge. Like I was saying, it's supposed to be money I don't already have or didn't already have. So, but I have been focused on that. I took a plane and was out there. It's not near where I live. It's actually where I grew up, or close to where I grew up. So I flew out there for a few days. My lovely wife was back with the kids and doing everything, plus working, and God bless her. But yeah, I flew out for a few days to go see how that project is coming along. That was about a year ago today that they started on that project, but I didn't lend the money to get started. He used some of his own money to buy the land and stuff. I actually, built the house per se, or the money I had built the house. But yeah, it was about a year ago this May to when the money went out, and we had an agreement. It's going to be he's going to lend the money from someone, or he was trying to lend the money from all kinds of places, and he wasn't having much luck, and the interest rates were going to be extremely high if he did find someone. It was going to be hard money, which has its risk. So I thought, well, I had that money. I'd sold a house about a year ago. And so, the stock market was at all-time highs. There wasn't many good deals on new houses. Although it's funny, some did pop up after I lent him the money. Probably could have bought something. But I lent him the money nonetheless. So that is where I was. The house is actually coming right along. All it's left to do is the flooring on the first floor. The second floor is done. We finished the bathrooms. It has an attic that's semi-usable. It has stairways and so on and so forth. It's like a $2,500 square foot property. Nice, decent house on a decent piece of land, and it's almost done. So I'll have that money back soon. Not sure what I'm going to do with it. What do y'all think I should do? Should I diversify, go into the stock market, buy another property, 2 or 3 properties, buy a bunch of cryptocurrency? So that's what I've been focusing on. It's also taken away from my time of making YouTube videos. Hence why I'm going to be doing these videos from now on my way to work, because that's basically the only time I have to do them. Because I just don't have time, if I'm honest. The kids, my wife's pregnant, working full time. I thought about quitting my job and doing this full time, but I just don't feel responsible. I don't know if I'm good enough at this to do that, and neither does my wife. So go check out her channel. I'm gonna put her channel down in the description. If you guys could go give her channel some love. She's almost at 4,000 watch hours, and she has over 1,000 subscribers. So she's just been struggling to get that 4,000 watch hours, and you know, being pregnant, you know, having 3 toddlers is tough. So anyways, go over there, give her some love, help us out, and hit that subscribe button here if you haven't already. Of course, if you watch this much of this video, you're probably already a subscriber. I really do appreciate it. Hit that like button and share this video with somebody. I'm just rambling, and that's just the way it is. It's gonna be my new, but I gotta get better at it, you know? I gotta come up with a timeline. So I think I'm gonna have to come up with like a timeline discussing my $1 million financial plans, current events, how my progress is coming on other financial things, like have I bought any houses, sold any houses, have I bought any stocks, sold any stocks. At the moment, I've been focusing, like I said, on my huge investment, my father's house, which is coming to an end here. He also got, guys, you won't believe this, he locked in a 3.3 30-year fixed interest rate, which I don't know how we did, because rates are high, right? I mean, not high in the big picture, but they're high as of now versus like a couple months ago. So, but anyways, he managed to lock in a 3.3 interest rate, fixed rate on a 30-year, which is awesome, great for him, and I hope it all works out. You know, like I've told you guys before, you're not done until it's closed, till you sign that final document, because stuff comes up. I'm very well aware of that. Of course, I've never done a cash out on a new build that I don't have a loan on. So basically, you know, that house is his house, according to the bank anyways. Maybe not so much according to me, but according to the bank, it's his house, and so he's just pulling cash out of it to pay off some debts, mine included. And so I've never done one of those before, though I hope to do one or two of them in the future. Maybe not on a new build, though. Or maybe on a new build. I don't know, guys. What do you think? Should I buy a piece of land, build a couple houses? Thought about doing that, too. I actually had a piece of land in mind with an old house on it that I was going to fix up, and then divide the land and build a couple other houses on it. But my financing fell through. Yeah. Just leave it at that. It fell through. Let's see what they got going on.
Just to see the surveillance
I
Bentley.
pull up in the Bentley, and it's like, you're kidding me, $20.
So, Simon, give us a sense here. What's behind this volatility here? We have so many cross currents as it relates to China, the war in the Ukraine, supply and demand that generally is moving on a reopening economy. What are you focusing on?
Well, I mean, yeah, the last 3 weeks have been a bit of a blur for everybody. I mean, oil snapped way higher with the invasion, of course, and then you had sanctions came through, the ban on Russian imports, and the speculation of further restrictions in the EU, perhaps elsewhere. So that's driven it higher. That drove it up to about 130 last week, and since then it's been retracing. The last 48 hours has been seen a very sharp retracement. Now, probably 3 factors here, right? So you've got speculation that maybe there could be some kind of ceasefire talks. That's very, very vague, and you know, we can all hope. Secondly, perhaps more fundamentally, if we're talking about demand, you've got this COVID situation in China. China is the second biggest oil consumer. And if there's the lockdown spreads there, that will hit demand. There's no question about that. And then third, you've got the Iran talks. Now, and there was some headlines out this morning. So Lavrov was saying, despite sanctions, we could still see an agreement. And if we have an agreement over Iran, that will allow Iran to formally enter the global oil market again. That could add at least 1 million barrels per day within the next few months.
You mentioned sanctions. You went to Southampton. Is that your team in football?
Ish.
Ish.
This
I'm not a big soccer
Russian
man, but I
debacle
kind of
seems
you
to have
said
helped out
We
Iran.
checked with your people, and they said you're not, but there's a soft spot there. With the Chancellor of the Exchequer as well, from where you sit, and with your legit expertise in oil, does sanctions work in the United Kingdom? The personal sanctions?
The personal sanctions, it's a tough one. I mean, we're kind of in uncharted territory because, you know as well as I do, for the last 20 plus years, the UK has let the oligarchs in. They've let them live. And working in London, they were everywhere. Right?
Well, they call it Londongrad.
I met with these guys, and we could see them rolling in, and everyone was doing quite. People working in the city were doing very well. And it's been such a volte-face within the last sort of 3-4 weeks.
That's French.
Yep. So I missed that.
Well, guys, I feel like I may have slightly rambled this morning, and I apologize for that. But to summarize, I am hoping to get more into financial videos. I am wrapping up my project with the investment in my dad's property. Hopefully getting back into the 2 million, I wish it was 2 million. No, the 1 million, 2 million, 1 million 2-year challenge. Like I said, it hasn't gone well due to my investments tanking at the moment, which also in a bigger picture issue, I have other investments. I think we have 100,000 or so in stocks that haven't been doing so well lately either. So I think I'll be adding to that a bit, buying some bargains. Hopefully, I'm kind of hoping the market tanks even more, so I can come out with that money and stock up on some household names like Microsoft, Tesla, some bargain basement shopping, Amazon. Just buy a handful of well-known names that are, I think, undervalued right now. Maybe even some Berkshire Hathaway. That's what I'm thinking I'm gonna do over the next month or so. But that, of course, that depends on what the market does. If the market completely tanks, which I don't see happening because stuff in Russia just seems to be kind of, I won't say coming to an end, but it does seem like maybe things are quieting down a little bit there. Everybody wants them to, and it seems like Putin might be outnumbered here a bit, and he's going to be forced to take a chill pill just because he's outnumbered, and I don't think he expected the world to come together so quickly on this one. He was thinking that he could accomplish this kind of like he did the last time he was there back in 2014, but it didn't quite go that way. So I foresee that that's probably going to come to an end. Of course, that's just my opinion. This is not investment advice. This is not investment advice. So that's my opinion. But okay, so that's what's going to happen with my project. What else? With the $2 million, with the $1 million. I keep saying $2 million. We can make it a $2 million challenge. With the $1 million challenge, of course, the $1 million challenge does not include that other money I was talking about, the $100,000 or the other $100,000 for that matter, or my properties. That's starting from scratch. That's $0, and I'm trying to keep it separate. Hence why there's only less than $600 going towards that right now. Of course, I could add money that doesn't belong there, but we're going to keep it separate, like I said. So that challenge is staying separate, and I am not giving up, guys. I am not giving up. I am about 4 months into it. So 4 months out of 2 years. Do you think I can do it? That's, what's that, 20 months? Can I get $1 million in 20 months? I don't know. This channel is going to be part of that challenge. I really hope this channel can grow, can start cash flowing. Of course, I am very far away from my 4,000 watch hours. So I have been doing some research, how to grow the channel. It takes time. I need time. So I'll give a few shout outs. I've been watching, right write these shout outs down. Okay, next video I'm gonna do some shout outs at the end. So this is kind of a rambling video, but for the video styles, I'm gonna start doing daily videos. We're gonna listen to the radio, go over some of the world events coming up. And we're going over some of the world events, and then we're gonna discuss some of my personal responses to those events, and then we're going to discuss some of the stuff that's going on with me, my finances, what I've bought and sold, and then we're going to discuss my $1 million challenge. Then we're going to discuss you guys, some of my favorite channels, give some shout outs, some of the stuff that's trending on YouTube, and we're gonna just sum it up, and that'll be it. Let's see. Yeah, so that's the end of today's video. I rambled a ton. I hope y'all, maybe somebody listened to the whole video, though I doubt it. I haven't been putting out a lot of content lately, so I'm gonna upload this video here at lunchtime. The stock market should be opening here in about 45 minutes. Futures look down as usual lately. I suspect today will be kind of a mixed bag, like it's been lately. I don't suspect anything overly down or up, but you never know, right? It could be either way. These days, you just never know. Do you ever know, though? As Warren Buffett says, there's always bad things happening. There's always risks in the market. Buy stocks. I'll see y'all later, guys. Be safe. God bless. Remember, only you can make your financial dreams come true. Don't delay. Get started today. Bye. Oh, P.S. This isn't going to be a pretty much unedited video. So if you don't like unedited videos where I rambled on, you probably didn't make it this far. But if you did, I appreciate it. My sincere gratitude.